Hi, everyone. This is Chuck Schumer, and I want to thank my friend Rachel Fee for that kind introduction and for the outstanding work Rachel does leading the New York Housing Conference. And thank you to Matthew Wambua and Mark Jarr for their continued leadership. And congratulations to today's honorees for working all year long to meet New York's urgent housing needs, to support the supportive housing network of New York, to Trinity Financial, and to Designing the We. Thank you for the work you do. Finally, to Carol Corden, congratulations on your Lifetime Achievement Award and for your relentless advocacy on behalf of victims of domestic violence and homeless families in New York. Now, my friends, this is a moment of profound change for our country. Across the country, the COVID-19 pandemic is worse now than it's ever been. No corner of American life has been untouched by this crisis, and this is especially true for the hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers who rely on affordable housing to keep a roof over their heads. For many working families, the first day of every month brings dread and brings fear. Many of these families, already low income or from communities of color, and this pandemic has disproportionately hurt. And it's not just renters who've been hit hard, it's the entire housing ecosystem. Multifamily owners and operators, service coordinators, homeless service providers, domestic violence shelter workers, and public housing agencies like NYHC. So the bottom line is simple. At a time like this, the federal government must take extra steps, not just to strengthen affordable housing programs, but to fix longstanding problems so we can expand affordable housing investment in New York and across the country. Housing policy is public health policy, and it's time we started treating it that way. When Congress passed the CARES Act earlier this year, which I negotiated with Steve Mnuchin, we took unprecedented steps to provide billions for critical housing programs, $1.25 billion for TBRA, $1 billion for project-based rental assistance, $685 million for the public housing operating funds, and billions more for CDBG and ESG. And of course, we couldn't have been successful without the help of New York Housing Conference. When HUD shortchanged New York in CDBG funding back in May, it was the leadership of NYHC that held them accountable, made sure New Yorkers got the full level of funding they discovered. For that, I can't thank Rachel and her team enough. But the work is far from finished. Many of the programs we secured in the CARES Act are set to expire if we don't take action very soon. I've long supported legislation along the lines of the HEROES Act, which would build on the CARES Act and provide $100 billion more in rental assistance. I fought hard to get that in the bill. Also, to extend the eviction moratorium and provide tens of billions for ESG, CDBG, and the public housing operating funds. Also, more money for TBRA and other programs that support affordable housing. But it's been hard, to put it kindly, to get Republicans to come to the table. As we speak, we're continuing to negotiate to see what compromises are possible. But we will not stop fighting to make sure that any relief bill we pass truly meets the needs of this moment. But there is some good news. We're soon going to have an administration led by President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, and they will take this pandemic seriously. And from day one, I'll work with the new administration to not only provide COVID relief for families, for small businesses, but also to strengthen the tools that support affordable housing across the board. This means working to secure a 4% floor on the low-income housing tax credit, fully funding our National Housing Trust, and meeting the Section 8 needs. We also must make sure that NYHC and other housing authorities get the full support they need to serve working families. Over 400,000 New Yorkers rely on NYHC, and its mission has never been more important than it is today. We need to keep going. We need to end housing discrimination in our federal laws. We need to boost investment in green and efficient technology, and we need to continue supporting our seniors and others who face unique housing needs. None of this is easy, but I'll fight like hell to get them done. And with you leading the way as longtime champions of affordable housing, I know we will get it done.